But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to come out here tonight.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
When's the last time you've seen the film?
I probably saw it all the way through when it came out on DVD for the first time. So I don't know when that was, 10 or 12 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
I saw it a few times when it first came out in the theater, and it actually did really strangely well for a Canadian film, especially a Canadian horror film. I guess it's the charm of it, and the old school special effects that they used. I mean, they were old school for the 80s. Seriously, the forced perspective stuff that they used, that's an old 1920s and 30s trick that they did that Randy Cook went on to perfect for the Lord of the Rings movies. You know, when you see the Ian McKellen and the hobbits in the same shot, and the tables are moving, like he's actually got the set moving while the camera moves, you know. I was blown away. I was just a kid. I was just out of high school, and I was working with an agency that was dabbled in stunt work. And they said, we need 15 guys. Can you please go and audition? And really didn't have to do anything except put the suit on, and that was a freaking chore, I can tell you. They weren't designed for ease of access, that's for sure. They were really, really, really heavy latex, created by Craig Reardon. And to get in the first day of shooting, they covered us all in baby powder, and we had to like squeeze into these things. And the arms, the shoulders were molded down, so you had to like get your arm in and like twist it down like that. And by the time you were done, I think the first day it took us 8 hours to put the whole suit on. And they couldn't deal with that on day 2, so they just slit them up the back. And then they had to spend hours gluing them shut. And once you were in them for the day, you were in them. There was no getting out. And you were dehydrating fast and sweating, and there were long fingers in the suit, and you would sweat, and it would collect in your fingers. So if you held your hand up, you got a nice little backwash of your own goo.
How many people were Minions in the film?
There were 15, I believe. I believe 15 suits were made, 15 men and women. There were women as well. Some with more levels of stunt training than others, because some had to do more difficult things. Like, how many of you have seen The Gate before? Well, not too many. Well, you guys are gonna have fun. There's a scene near the end, no spoilers, where the little 12-inch tall minions are standing on what is the railing of the house. So they built this thing like 40 feet high, so it would be the level of a 4-foot high railing. And so we're all up on there. We got wires attached to us and harnesses underneath these horrible suits. So like we're total. And basically, the minions have to sort of run away when the big monster appears. And at one point, one of them doesn't want to run away and jumps off. So they had a bag for this stunt guy to land in. Except the camera started so far back in the shot and came in that the bag would have been visible in the shot. So as the camera moved in, they had to move the bag that this guy was going to jump 40 feet into, blind, because you can't see out of these heads. Like, there's 2 big eyes, and you can see out of them for about 5 seconds, and they fog up. And then there was a little mouth opening that you could kind of see through. And so you're walking on this thing that's about, 1.5 feet wide with giant feet. You can hardly move, and you're going like this, trying not to die. And then there's this guy who like just takes it on faith that the bag's going to be there when he jumps off. And he did it like 5 times, and he never missed. And that same wire that was supposed to save our lives, the next day we were shooting a scene where one of the kids is falling down the hole and his leg's stuck, and the minions come out and attack him, and they grab and pull on his leg. Well, to make the leg move, they had to use a wire to move the leg up and down, right? Same wire that they've got us attached to run across this thing that was supposed to save our lives. Well, Randy Cook, who's directing all these scenes, goes, wouldn't it be interesting if maybe one of the minions could get on the leg and like we could pull it up and down with the minion hanging on the leg? Let me try that. So he jumps up on the leg, they pull it, and it snaps. So it would not even hold the weight of a single human. So if any of us had to come off that platform on the wire, I'm telling you, this was old stuff, man. Today they do it all with, we'd have ping pong balls in our face, and we'd have 6 months of training to be a monster, whereas, they gave us the students when, why don't you be monsterish, do some monstery things. And that was basically the direction we got to be these things. So it was a blast, and I remember it fondly. And I lost 20 pounds. I swear to God, I lost 20 pounds.
Did they keep you hydrated?
Oh yeah, we drank beer the whole time. I'm serious, Molson Golden. A lot of Molson Gold. So there was a big lineup for the washer.
And you said you were 15 when you got
No,
married?
I think I was 18.
Okay.
I was just out of high school, just sort of getting into the business. I mean, I had done, the first movie I ever did extra work on was with Keanu Reeves. It was his first movie called Young Again with Robert Urich and Lindsay Wagner, and he was just a kid. And I did some extra work in a couple Police Academy movies. Those are hilarious. But then I sort of did more theater, and then I was the host on the Space Channel for 10 years. Did you guys ever watch Hyperspace? I used to host Hyperspace and the Spacey Awards and Space Bar and all that stuff. So I did that for 10 years, and then when Chum got sold to CTV, they fired us all. And so I got back into acting. So I don't know, you might have seen you've seen Murdoch Mysteries. I was a recurring villain on Murdoch Mysteries for 4 episodes, and shows like Nikita and Saving Hope and Rogue, and I did a movie with Jason Momoa called Wolves that David Hayter, Solid Snake, directed. So that's what I've been doing since.
Amazing.
But it's amazing that this has come back to, bite me in the ass again. So. It was a really cool experience, especially to work with Randy, because the amount of time it took Randy to set these shots up. When you watch the movie, if you haven't seen it, the first time you see these creatures, it's with a girl who walks out her back door and there's a staircase, and she comes out with a flashlight and she's looking on the ground. The way they did that was they built the ground like 10 times the size on the studio floor and had a platform way, way up high where it was all real. And they joined it in camera to make it all look like one shot. So when she goes with the flashlight and she puts her foot down and almost steps on one of them jumps out of the way. That's me. That's the one I can tell you for sure that that's me. Because I'm waiting. I can't see her. I'm looking over here and she's over here, but I'm supposed to be looking up at her. And so I'm just waiting for Randy to go, jump! And I can't hear. I got this stupid head on. And so 12 or 15 takes later, we get the shot, and next thing you know, we have to run up the staircase, and each stair is like 5 feet high. Try doing that in one of these crazy suits, but it was an amazing experience, and I hope you guys all really have a good time.
Yeah, it's incredible getting everybody together. Obviously, today's the day to support Canadian film, and I know there's like a lot of young filmmakers out there, and anybody trying to get into film. And do you have anything you'd recommend? Obviously, you're a young guy getting into filmmaking, and
it's a different game now. It's a different game now than it was. But you just have to keep doing it. You have to keep doing whatever it takes to make what you want to make. If you're a director, you've just got to shoot stuff. If you're a writer, you got to write scripts. If you're acting, you've just got to persevere, because it's a tough business. You'll be rejected, 12 times a day. So you got to be able to handle that, and don't see that as a reflection on your ability. It's just the business. A lot of money involved. People are very scared to spend their money on things these days. But it's persistence and sticking with it. It takes time, a lot of time. Whether you're writing or acting, you have to develop it. And if you love it, stick with it, because you certainly wouldn't do it if you didn't love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much,
thank
Jonathan.
you.
I appreciate it.